Hi Taurus, and welcome to your July 2019 astrology and tarot reading. My name is Ariel, and I welcome you all, cross watchers and Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising signs alike. I'm going to start out by just putting out an intention out there to bring in all of your guides, all of your angelic presence, helpers, and healers, any passed on loved ones or friends who may be out there wanting to assist you, and just asking for the most clear and direct messages for Taurus for July 2019. Now just keep in mind that not all of these messages will apply to every single Taurus out there. Take whatever resonates and leave the rest. I'm going to just pull first a major arcana card just to start out and see what the general energy that you're feeling is. Alright, Taurus, so you've got the Hanged Man. So this tells me that you're really kind of in between two cycles of life right now. Not quite there in the next level of being, not quite left the last level of being. So this can also mean that this is some divine timing in there, where there is a patience element necessary to see something to its fruition. If you're indecisive, that's perfectly fine. There's no need to push the river, so just let things kind of go with the flow. The next card I'm going to pull is one from the Celtic Animal Oracle, and I'm just going to see which from the Druidic deck, which spirit animal is coming in most closely for you right now, Taurus. Oh wow, so you've got the goose, and it's so funny because the sign just before you, Aries, got the swan, and they're very closely linked. This really tells me, Taurus, this is actually very appropriate as well to the energy of your sign, because the goose is all about family. It's all about, family connections and ties. So this month actually may be something where you're really bringing in, that close family bond with, not just blood relatives, but also, your chosen family, your friends, anybody that you feel really closely connected to. The goose is also a famous traveler, so they're very, very connected with travel, migration. You can see the little V, and they even rotate that V in their migration paths to keep balance and maintain their energy levels, which is really fascinating. They're capable of flying extremely long distances, so they have great stamina, they have great strength. They have quite a lot of muscle for that bird who's very, very distant, and he's very protective as well, just like the swan, very protective of his family, of his nest, of his territory. Those are all very important elements, so keep those both in mind this month, Taurus, as we go along through the month of July. So pulling your general astrology patterns for this month, just move that around so you can see it a little bit better with the light. We have got some really big patterns this month. We've got the Cancer new moon and solar eclipse starting out on July 2nd, and then 2 weeks later we have a Capricorn full moon and lunar eclipse. So what this is going to trigger for you, Taurus, this month especially is communication. Cancer is going to be moving through that area of your chart, and so this is time to really express yourself, get those ideas, those thoughts, those feelings out, and because it's Cancer, it usually is very emotional. Don't be surprised if you shed some tears, if you laugh a lot, if you cry a lot, if you maybe even have to be aggressive and get some anger out. It's all healthy in the process of this. The solar eclipse is usually as well bringing in new energy, starting with the new moon cycle especially. So be very aware that in the Cancer sign and connected to your communication, this definitely means sometimes healing family communication, family arguments, things that maybe have, been sitting around for a while, and they're really time to either clear them out or let them go. And that might be where that Hanged Man too is coming in a little bit more, is because it's kind of like, I'm not quite done with this old cycle, but I'm not quite yet in this new one. So I would also, just as a side note, Taurus, remind you that not that long ago, Uranus, which is the ruling planet of Aquarius, moved into your sign, and that's there for almost an 8-year stay. So this is it's a slow process, but you are in a big, long process of really reinventing yourself, reinvigorating yourself. This is a very electric sign. It deals with freedom and independence and really speaking your own truth and being unapologetically yourself, the unique soul that you are. So, for you, Taurus, anything that you do, really, now and really throughout that entire cycle, it's great if you focus mostly on what can I be to be more myself? How can I reflect that in my entire identity? And that goes, it's into the whole realm. It starts with yourself, and then it radiates outward to your friends, your family, your loved ones, your work, your career, your passions, your talents. All of it gets touched by, the reinvention of yourself that you're doing. The Capricorn full moon, lunar eclipse, is going to be very powerful for you as well because it's a fellow earth sign of Capricorn. That happens on July 16th, and that lunar eclipse energy is when you breathe back out. Solar brings it in, and the lunar lets it go. So anything that you, again, have been holding on to, especially in terms of old outworn ideas, long-held philosophies, even the depths of religion or deeply held beliefs sometimes go under quite a bit of challenge during that time. And so you might feel yourself going, wow, I'm going to just let some of that old stuff go because it's not serving me. I've learned more, I've experienced more, and now, I'm ready to move up to the next level of my emotional, spiritual development. So that's to definitely be a powerful time. I would also mention that Mars is going into Leo, and Mercury will also be in Leo for part of this month, and it will be in retrograde from the 7th to the 31st. Do keep in mind that Leo energy is a little challenging for Taurus. So if you feel a little bit like one foot is on the gas, the other on the brake, that's not surprising. You might feel like you really want to go, 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 but somehow that energy just keeps stalling out on you, that you have to keep waiting, that you have to keep hanging in there, and oh, there's this hurdle, and oh, there's that thing I gotta jump over. Try not to get frustrated with it this month, Taurus, because that's just sort of par for the course. It's normal. And that Hanged Man, again, you've got that overall energy of sort of going, well, I've got this goal that I want to get to, but I'm right here, I'm kind of in the middle of the process, so don't rush, don't push the river, don't force the energy. Just let it flow in its own time. And so now I'm just going to do a classic Celtic cross spread with the Osho Zen Tarot, and we're going to pull in and see what other messages are coming in for Taurus for July 2019. Wow, Taurus, a lot of people are bringing in this card this month. This is that, it begins with the Justice card. This is the breakthrough. This is the balance in anything that feels out of harmony. The reason I think so many readings are getting this card, getting that balance, that scales of justice, is because we're dealing with that push-pull, that back and forth energy that is very, very highlighted during an eclipse pattern. So here's the next one that's overlying that. That's the Nine of Cups. This is usually, sometimes it shows contentment, wish fulfillment, a general feeling that things are great. But the Osho Zen, I love the extra added, they call it laziness or complacency, because even if things are going great, don't neglect the work that you still have to do. Don't neglect your foundations, even if everything on the surface seems like it's going just fine. So, you're actually coming out of, coming from the Three of Cups, which is not a bad energy at all, Taurus. This is really showing me that you have learned that even with, when things are going tough or things are not, optimal, just like these ladies that are dancing in the rain, it's like they've learned that you can still look for the good in life, look for the joy in life, even when it's not perfect. You can still find reasons to celebrate. You can still find beauty, even in the storms of life, and that's overlaid by your number one. So there's some things that you've had to start all over again from scratch. There's some definite things in your immediate past where you've really said, okay, scrap it, I'm starting fresh. And that can definitely play into that electric energy. Like I said, with Uranus entering your sign, you are ready to just clear the decks and really become almost, a new creation, a new person, and live a life that's more truthful to your own self. So the subconscious cards right now, Taurus, there is some stress, there is some worry, probably a little bit around finance. You are a sign that rules resources, finances, material possessions. So it's actually pretty normal for you to have that on the mind as long as it doesn't turn into anxiety and worry. It's fine for you to be, focused on taking care of the, material world. It's fine, children, home, work, doing the budget, all of that stuff is important, but right now there's a little bit of this fear of loss, and that's what I want you to kind of be aware of and veer away from, because you don't want to get so tight that you go, I'm so afraid of losing something that I can't be open to let more in and let good things in. And so it's crossed by that Knight of Swords. So it's really all about kind of getting stressed out, caught up in the mind. The mind kind of races with that energy. So anytime you find your thoughts kind of running away from you, take a moment, take a breath, take a step back, because this could be a thing where you really just need some relaxation techniques so that you don't let that fear of loss. Even if you have to, pay extra bills, even if your bank account isn't what you wish it could be, none of that's going to get better if you, stress out over it. Right now, this is the time as well where you're just taking in moment to moment, and you're trying to take one day at a time. And that Four of Swords tells me, just rest. This is a restive phase right now. This isn't forever. It's just for now. So at the top of the spread, you've got this, which is this beautiful consciousness and completion. This is all about the world. This is about a completion of a cycle. So you're really coming into a fuller awareness that, hey, I've got all the pieces together, one piece at a time, and it's just going to take that one till it's all complete. And then laying over it, it's just the same as the Hierophant. This is the major arcana number 5. And this one is rather interesting because it's the one card that's completely blank. It has, no image. So this is really, it's called nothingness, but it's about no thingness. Not to get attached to the things too much of the world, Taurus, because like I said, you guys, are very rooted in the here and now, what you can touch, what's tangible for you. So this is telling you, try to complete those needs and those feelings through the spiritual realm and the emotional realm, rather so much than through the material world. Going into the immediate future, here is that beautiful Queen of Cups. So this is also saying to remove fear, remove worry, because this is all about receptivity. This is about allowing things to flow through you and to go with the flow. It removes the head with all its worries and thoughts and replaces it with the lotus, so that it just, everything just flows through, right through her, and she's not overthinking anything, and it's overlaid by that gorgeous Ten of Pentacles. So to me, this gets into the world connection. This gets into what you're really looking for, which is that stability. It is that, material foundation under your feet that feels really good. And this happens by letting the worries go. It seems very counterintuitive, but it's actually not. The more that you worry about it, the harder it gets, whereas the more that you let go and allow, the easier these things come in. This also gets back, because notice how this card is, all the people of the world connected. This is telling me yet again that, you've got to connect deeper into the people around you. That Cancer new moon is really encouraging that, reaching out deeper to our family, our friends, the people that we really value and trust. Alright, Taurus, so up along the side, definitely, this is, again, getting into, a further evolution of the self and the soul, going into the card, which is this is a unique card only to this deck. This doesn't, doesn't have a connection to any of the traditional tarot. So the Master is really about, you know, getting to that next level, going that full distance to where you're not worried anymore, to where things are not, you know, bothering you. And this is a beautiful card. It's actually one of the very best that you can pull. And so it's crossed over by that Judgment card, which is calling everything out. It's waking up to a new life, clearing the closets, clearing any old energy, letting anything go that's not been for your best, Taurus. So the next card coming in about what you need to know about yourself is that, you know, you are very strong, you are very bold, vibrant, a very passionate being that has far-ranging vision when you let yourself. And it's crossed over right now, modified by that Nine of Wands. So you have definitely been kind of burning the candle at both ends. You've been really tired, really putting in so much work, a lot of long hours. Sometimes this really makes you feel like you're so tired that, you know, you almost feel like you're not running the machine anymore. You've become it, just like this card. And so it leaves you feeling kind of defensive and kind of short of energy. So that's just something, yet again, more relaxation is definitely needed here, Taurus. Okay, so the hopes and fears, here you go. This is really, you know, staying open, staying aware, because this is that little Page of Cups coming in. So this could be the start of a new relationship. You could be worried that it won't work out and hoping that it will. So again, this is coming on top of it. There is that air energy, yet again, the Mind card, where it's all about thinking too much, worrying too much, letting all that excessive anxiety cloud your mind, cloud your judgment. This is something that's really coming up as needing to be addressed. So at the outcome, here's the comparison crossed over by that Queen of Wands. Yet again, more sword energy. So don't compare yourself unfavorably to others, and please don't judge yourself too harshly, because that's the most negative sign of that Queen of Swords, is that she can be very judgmental. And that's not usually so much of others as it is of ourselves, because we're always the hardest on ourselves, Taurus. Always remember that, you know, you don't always know what everyone else is going through, and it may seem like everyone's got the perfect life, but really they might be struggling just as much or more than you. Yep, and there you go. If you do that, and you really make sure you take good care of yourself, make sure that you're resting enough, because the success is nearby. It really is. There's that Six of Wands. So it's like, this may not be the complete finale, there may be more to go, but there's definitely a moment where you go, whew, and things get better. So then coming in is that Ace of Cups, which definitely brings in big emotional, spiritual abundance. It brings in more love, it brings in more emotional peace of mind, because again, it's the going with the flow, which in a little bit of a way is the whole point of this, Taurus. Relax, release, because you're definitely being urged to move into a more free-flowing existence that expresses your true self. And now I'm just going to pull a Archangel card to see which Archangel is coming in for you right now for this month of July. Oh, we got the Angel Therapy card. This is perfect, actually. So this is Archangel Raphael. So this, again, is saying, take good care of yourself, Taurus. You have a strong body. You generally have a strong mind, strong heart, but don't abuse it. Make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Make sure that you're eating well, doing the things that make you happy, that don't really depend on anybody else for those things. And also turning your cares and worries over to your angelic guides, over to Spirit. Let them take your burdens. Put your intentions and your needs out there, and then let that go. Don't think that you sitting there worrying about it is going to make it better. Because what's going to happen is going to happen, and you can either be worried about it or not. So I'm just going to pull an Angel Oracle card to deepen the message and see what else comes out. Alright, release and surrender, Taurus. That's so perfect. This is a fabulous reading. It's fabulous, because even though you've got challenges, even though there's things in there that are kind of difficult to get over, it's a very clear direction that you're going in. So I think that the more that you do that, starting out with that Hanged Man card, you know, this is about release and surrender. There is this deeper awareness and this enlightenment that come through with that. So we shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped in your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. That's a beautiful, beautiful reading, Taurus. This is a brand new channel, so I hope that you will click subscribe, like, and share. Leave any comments about maybe what you would like to see in the future on this channel. I've been doing Tarot and Astrology a very long time, and just started this, so this is a new adventure for me. And I hope you have an amazing month of July, and take care, my dear. See you soon.